Are we on?
We're on.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome. I've been watching a lot of YouTube. Welcome to the channel.
All right, is that what you have
That's
to say?
what people say. However, you have yet to set up the channel. I did send you the guide.
Oh yeah, I'll do that before, so we can upload these to the right place. Then it's on my channel.
Let's see. Am I confident you will? No? Do I think I'll end up doing it in about another month? Yes. Essentially, the show is called A Brit of Alright.
Yeah.
Maybe you're listening to this in audio.
Book.
This is the book. So what we are doing is, because I was very swayed a few weeks ago when all the flags started going up.
Yeah.
And then I was because obviously Tommy Robinson seems like a lovely fella. So I thought
With lots of well thought through opinions.
Yeah, loads of really good. Yeah, and it's all about pride in Britain, and I'm all for that because I do like being British and I like British things.
Yeah. And being proud.
And being proud.
Yeah.
But upon reflection, it didn't seem to be offering any reasons to be proud of British things or Britishness.
Mm.
So we just thought we would offer some things that are good about Britain. So the programme's called A Brit of Alright, and as you say, that's alright is about as good as you can get in Britain.
The highest accolade you can get in Britain is said that was all right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Or not bad.
Not bad. You're all right.
Yes.
He's all right. That, you know what I mean? If you got a character reference from someone that said he's all right, perfect.
That's enough. That's
enough.
That's top level.
I'm happy to go on an Arctic expedition with that person. That's okay. Yeah.
So what we do, we've done 2 episodes so far, and the things put forward were fish and chips.
Yeah.
That was the first one. That went straight in. The second thing that went in
was the seaside holiday.
Seaside holiday, wonderful. That went in.
Yeah.
The third thing was Melton Mowbray pork pies,
which didn't go in.
Didn't go in because I bought some rubbish ones.
Yeah.
From the supermarket. They were a bit small and a bit dry, so I will redo that.
We can revisit Melton Mowbray pork pies, can't we?
Yeah, I might even just do that on...
This is the thing that we have. We have this clear route of appeal, so it's not. It's never just completely closed.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. So if you think we've missed something, please put in the comments. If you disagree with us, if you've got ideas of what we should be including. We also, because we were in Leicestershire area, we put David Attenborough in.
Sir David Attenborough.
Sir David Attenborough.
Yeah, he went.
So he's
it would have been a brave decision to not put David Attenborough.
Exactly.
In it.
So I'm just going to do food for the rest, for all of it, because I just love British food so much. So what have we got this week? Yet again, we've got a sample. It's been cooked by you. I don't know if you
that's
can...
me.
That's
not
you.
Personally, but me. Yeah,
so we've got black puddings from we're in Bolton. Very nearby is Bury.
Yeah.
Which is kind of considered the home of black puddings in England.
Is it, or is that just a local thing?
Well,
because Bury does have a tendency to over-exaggerate its own renown.
That's because you're from Bolton, so you hate Bury. They're your natural predator.
Yeah. We're involved in a trade war with Bury.
Do you know what? I think it says something about where you're from, who your natural rival is.
Yeah.
So if you think of Batman versus the Joker, the Joker's like an evil genius mastermind with like these, he's a worthy opponent.
He's of an equivalent to Batman.
So Bolton, yours is Bury.
Yeah.
That's your...
We're not at war with Prussia or somewhere like that, no.
Well, Oldham, where I'm from, ours is Rochdale.
There's local rivalries, isn't it? That's what you want.
So we've fried it.
All right, can I have something?
Yeah, that's your one. This is my one. I've already had this for my breakfast on Saturday.
All right, okay.
So 2 days ago. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's really good. What did you fry it in? Sunflower oil.
Olive oil.
Olive oil?
It's the only oil that I've got.
So, firstly, that's controversial. Should it be fried? But let's talk about black pudding a little bit more. So put it down, do you want it?
I'll have a bit more. Come. You tell us about black pudding and I'll eat it.
So, black pudding, or blood sausage as it's sometimes called.
Yeah. Have a bit of marketing to stop calling it blood sausage,
yes.
I would say.
And it's typically, for lots of our British foods, it doesn't first appear in Britain.
All right.
So firstly, its first recorded use, or the first time people know about it, but there are cave drawings apparently in France but nobody knows quite how old they are.
Of black pudding?
Of blood sausage.
Alright.
So basically it would be a sheep or a cow or a pig.
I've seen cave drawings, right? Cave paintings, and they're generally pretty crap.
Yes. Well, this apparently, there's
I'm
one...
not having it, that they can be like a...
No, an animal being slaughtered.
Alright,
and then the blood coming off, and then the cooking of that.
I thought it was just like a bloke holding something with, that's clearly
That's a black pudding. What brand is that? So, this is what we know about black puddings. It's first mentioned in 800 BC, recorded,
800
written down
BC?
in Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah.
That talks about a sort of food made from the blood of animals. It next appears in many Roman recipes.
I mean, Homer's Odyssey also talks about sort of sirens and different sea monsters and stuff.
But it's, well, be it fiction or not, he predicted...
It still exists, doesn't it?
It still exists, even if it was not then made, but there's lots of Roman recipes for it.
Right,
which
okay.
possibly, as you fried it in olive oil,
yeah,
and the
that's
Roman...
a more authentic way of preparing it, is that what you're saying?
And throughout Italy, pigs are massive in Italy, especially Rome.
As in, there's a lot of them.
As
not
in,
just big pigs.
There's something that the climate does well with pigs, better than cows, for instance.
Oh, all right, okay.
As the cities were developing, this is all from what I've gathered from Stanley Tucci's Guide Round Italy, where he talks about the Rome slaughterhouses. But pig is like super important in Italy.
Right, okay. There's lots of ham, isn't there? Like
lots of hams,
pancetta and
yeah, cured hams, cured meats. So what we're up to there, 300 BC with the Romans. That's where it starts being written. Then we move forward to about the 1400s, and European monks talk about bringing various recipes of foreign puddings into England specifically, but also just generally Britain. And then they start experimenting using English herbs, Scottish oats.
Right, okay. So they sort of localise it based on what's around there. Yeah.
So in lots of the Italian recipes, it's different. It's obviously more Italian herbs like oregano and basil. Yeah. Whereas thyme, marjoram, sage start to be used here along with cereals. In Scotland, they traditionally use sheep or cows because that's what they get. The reason apparently people use the blood is because there's so much blood whenever you slaughter an animal. It was an easy thing for home.
Good protein as well.
Yeah, super protein, but it goes off really quickly. It just almost instantly.
So it's either drink it there and then, or
drink it hot, which did used to be done.
That still happens in parts of the world. I've watched Tribe with Bruce Parry, where they're drinking. Drinking blood. Yeah. You know, at the slaughter. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's super healthy. So what it used to happen, now it's synthetic, but it used to be cow's intestines.
Oh, was the casing.
So essentially the same casing for haggis, which we will do definitely at a later date. Stornoway is very famous in Scotland for their version of black pudding.
Is it?
And I think Cornwall, the main pork markets in the UK, Stretford in Manchester was one of them, and I think there's another one in Cornwall, and then there's one in Scotland. So these were the hubs, and that spread out to Bury, who pretty much made their own.
Who nabbed it and then,
Yes. So there's big rivalry in Bury between Chadwick's and the Bury Black Pudding Company. Right. Chadwick's insist they are the original.
Right, okay.
They sell Chadwick's at Bury Market.
Instinctively, if I had to say which was first,
me too.
The Bury Black Pudding Company and Chadwick's, I would say Chadwick's.
Yes, me too.
Because I'm sure that's what, in my head, whether I'm right about this or not, that's people named businesses after themselves longer ago.
That's what I would think. Sort of and also the Bury Black Pudding Company, they both got stalls in Bury Market. So Chadwick's both sell it. You can eat it hot there.
So you can just buy it as...
Yeah, Chadwick's serve theirs either with English mustard or nothing. Those are your options. And it's boiled.
Right.
And your other options are bits of fat in it, which is the tastiest, best way. So you see those little white chunks?
Yeah.
Those are bits of fat. I was going to eat that. I really want to eat that. My mouth's watering.
I've finished mine.
Or you can boil it, or you can fry it, or you can even grill it. I prefer it fried, or you can oven roast it. I like it when it's gone a bit hard around the edges.
Oh, crispy, yeah.
But that is not a traditional way. So Chadwick's always insist, I think, that you would boil it. So there is a thing.
Boil it whole and then
slice it. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Whereas the other one that's from the Berry Black Pudding Company one, they do a vegetarian one. That's black bean. That's quite nice.
Oh, right, okay.
Tastes.
Yeah, I've had vegetarian black pudding before. It's right.
Nice. It's really nice. And they also do a chili pudding, so it's got chilies in, and that's stunning. That is the best of the lot. And then one final thing: there is a black pudding throwing competition held in Ramsbottom.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I've not been. No.
So I went about 15 years ago, and essentially a scaffold is erected. And it's to celebrate the War of the Roses, which obviously was won by Lancashire. Anybody from Yorkshire, by the way, I know you just refused to accept it. you were well and truly beaten.
And what are the type of people that throw black puddings around?
Yes.
Embarrassing.
So what the black pudding throwing competition is about, they get some Yorkshire puddings and put them at the top of this scaffolding that's to give you a height. I don't know the exact height, but it's done outside a pub. Can't remember what pub it's done. It's at the top of the hill in Ramsbottom.
Yeah. I know Ramsbottom fairly well. My partner's from Ramsbottom. So,
right, is she?
Yeah. Still never been to the black pudding throwing.
Well, you should go. It's a fun day, and there's a really good chocolatier there. And there's like a vintage train.
Yeah.
And there's a little
market.
We've been
on the train.
There's a brilliant chippy.
Yeah.
There's a good cafe.
There's a chippy called the Wandering Tyke or something like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and he's the guy's from Yorkshire.
The one at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. Going down to the train.
Oh well.
And he clearly uses. It smells like chippies in Yorkshire, because he uses dripping to.
Yes, beef dripping. Yeah. So Tyke, is that not Barnsley way?
That's like Barnsley way.
That's the football team's called the Tykes, I think. So so what they do is they put a black pudding on top of this scaffold that's about the height. It goes to the middle of the window of the pub.
Right.
Of the top floor, not the second floor. So not the ground floor, the first floor, where a bedroom window. So whatever height that is, 15 foot. Yeah. And you get black puddings, you stand behind the line and you chuck the black pudding and try and knock off the Yorkshire pudding. And if you...
Is that what you
do? That's what you do, yeah,
right,
to symbolise...
So it's not just like, seeing who can chuck it the
That's what I thought it would be till I went.
Oh, right, that's much more exciting.
There's a high level of skill.
Yeah.
And I think...
and all luck.
Yes, but I think if you have a go and then you knock a Yorkshire pudding off or you hit the Yorkshire pudding, you get through to the next round. That's how I think it worked.
And then after you beat Yorkshire, you have to progress and
it lasts all day, and it's done outside a pub, and there's about 4 pubs in a 5-minute walk. So to be honest, it's hazy.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those excuses to get drunk, basically.
Yes, one of those classic British excuses. So that's basically everything I know about Yorkshire pudding. They do
black pudding.
Sorry. God, I'm always doing that. Cork has their own, I think it's called Drisheen in Cork.
Oh, right, okay.
But if you think in Cork, Cork's pretty much the food capital of Ireland, I think.
Right.
And there's a market called the English Market right in the centre where I just think butchers have always done this. Have always used all the offal.
Use everything, don't you?
Yeah. Because it's just profit of stuff that would go to waste.
Yeah.
And it was also a good thing for home cooks to do when people had little small holdings and little farms. And they'd kill their own animals, because the way that you would kill a pig, you'd bleed it out.
Right, okay.
That used to be the way, so you'd catch that.
Do you know, my granddad, one of his earliest jobs when he was a teenager in Ireland...
Pig killer.
Was, he was the pig killer's assistant. Right? And that his job was, I only learned this when he was like on his deathbed and was telling us tales from his past. And he basically, because he worked on a farm, so he was quite strong. He was only about 13, 14 at this point. He would have to hold the pig's head up by its ears, whilst the slaughterer would then slit its throat, and he had to sort of keep it there while it bled out.
Oh my God!
Imagine doing that for a job.
At 13.
At 13, and he's his pay, he got to keep the ears.
Yeah. So remember that if you're 18 and you're posting about, I wish it was the past, and you used to be able to you used to be able to die of dysentery and be able to afford a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's awful. And pigs are massive, and pigs are really strong.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know something else about pigs in general. If you leave a pig in the wild for 6 weeks, a domesticated pig, like a farm pig.
So you just like release it into the wild.
You just release it into the wild and leave it. 6 weeks later, it's covered in hair. It turns into a boar. It's
Is that
tough.
right?
Yeah. I think it's 6 weeks. It's a ridiculously fast. They just turn into wild pigs.
Right, okay.
And they get full of testosterone and they get really angry.
Really dangerous.
Yeah, they can a wild pig can kill you without even blinking. And it will eat you.
They have to kill male pigs, well, boars, don't they? Or they have to sort of separate them after a certain age because they're too big and dangerous.
Yeah, they get too big and dangerous.
Yeah.
So to hold the ears of someone, because anyway.
Yeah.
It took
that was a nice, cheerful.
It took a sinister turn, but what do you think about black pudding? Do you think it should go in?
Definitely.
100% think
100%, yeah. Because it is like everything else we're discovering. It's there's definitely. I always think about it as being British, as in local to me, because it's something that's ubiquitous.
I was thinking about just being from Lancashire, but absolutely not.
But then you get older and you go to sort of Spain and you have Morcilla over there, and you go to Italy, they've got their version, and everyone's got their own version.
Rice, we put like grains or rusk, so cereal, basically some sort of cereal. So it's essentially what you've got. Yeah. And they don't do any in Italy. They don't put anything with it. They just put herbs and.
Right. Okay.
But sometimes garlic, and then sometimes they'll.
And it's just so it's really smooth in texture.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And in France, it's called boudin, and they serve that with apples.
Right. Of course they do.
Of course they do.
I can imagine it would work with apples, to be fair.
So, yeah, I like the fact that it's just basically something that would just be waste.
Yeah. And they've made it into something that's really
delicious.
Something that adds to however you got rid of it. Like that with something, because the one thing about it is it can be a bit dry, I guess.
Yeah, but that was nice.
That was really nice. So, but like I think when you've got like a bit of an egg yolk, like a dippy egg with it, or some mustard or something like that.
So one of my favourite ways of having it, which is quite a modern-y way, maybe it's always been the case, but I've only been aware of it.
I'm writing in the book, by the way.
A few years. Good. If you do like black pudding on a salad with a poached egg.
All right. And that's how to make salad interesting, isn't it?
It's absolutely
meat up
stunning.
that salad. Yeah.
It's really, really great. So I'm glad black pudding's got in.
Black pudding's got in. Yeah. It's a good job you didn't bring some sort of crappy version of black pudding around, and we'll have to not let it in.
I know. Like I did last week. Like I did with the Melton Mulberry pork pies. So we must do haggis as well, because I think haggis is equal, if not superior.
We'll have to sort of like, that's good. That'll be a new episode. Like we could do like
haggis versus black pudding.
Which is
yeah. I wonder if we can get guests on. Maybe see if we get a Scottish dude in.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do for that. Definitely.
Has anybody done poems about black pudding?
I don't know.
I wonder if Elvis Presley ever did. Maybe. I bet there's poems about. I bet there's songs about it.
Yeah, do you reckon, the Lancashire hot pots must have done something about black pudding.
Yeah,
and it does sound like the sort of subject matter of the whole of this.
I used to. So one of the Oldham tinkers, I think maybe even two of them, have got the surname Boardman. So I've seen them a lot when I was a little.
Oh, right.
I don't think they do anything now. I think they might be like into the 4th or 5th generation of Oldham tinkers. And there's like that whole sort of folk tradition. They must have a song that mentions black pudding or is about black pudding.
Yeah, there'll be something. I like the fact that you sort of equated, who was it that does the poem about haggis?
Rab Burns.
Sir Robert Burns.
Yes.
Rabbi Burns. I like the fact that who's the equivalent person from around here?
Elvis Presley. Yeah. Well, the only poet I could think of really. Oh, John Cooper Clarke, but he's the Bard of Salford. But
I don't think he's done one. No.
Right, we could be waffling now.
We are waffling now. So I'm going to add to that. So what's my proposal for this week?
Right.
My nominee for this week to enter the big book of Brit of Alright.
Brit of Alright
is an organisation.
Right.
I'm staying local as well because it was founded in Didsbury.
Okay, I think we're always very local, aren't we?
We
need to branch.
We're going to branch widen our geographic scope.
We need to.
But I'm going to talk about the RSPB. So it's local. It's also got a global presence, I would say, as well. Now. The RSPB, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds.
Are you a member?
I am a member, of course.
You got me into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt that says
I
Bird
saw
Nerd.
that.
Yeah.
I saw they were targeting me with what's on the back. Anything?
There's nothing on the back.
They were. I saw that because they got it in the sale. And they know I like a bargain.
Yeah. I got this for my birthday this year.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm a big because that's me. I'm a bird nerd. So I made you become a member. I made
You got me
member,
into it, and it's one of the. Do you know what? If you talk about gifts, it's one of the best things anyone's done for me, and also. Both my kids have been bird watching in Canada and where we looked at red hawks because I was like, oh please let me just go here because I've heard there's this kind of thing, and they were like, oh it'll be boring, and then they went and they were like, actually it was really exciting watching these hawks screeching. And my wife, we've been 2 or 3 times now. The last time we went to Benton Cliff.
Oh, Benton Cliffs.
This time last year.
Right, okay.
And watched.
It's great, Benton Cliffs. What did you see? Gannets?
We saw gannets. We saw puffins. Actually, it was maybe a bit later. It was probably April.
Yeah.
We saw gannets. We saw puffins. We saw terns.
Yeah.
We saw lots of some black-headed gulls.
Guillemots?
Yeah, lots of guillemots and lots of razorbills.
Yeah.
Razorbills are cool.
They're really
they
cool,
look like cyborgs.
Yeah.
So so the best present anyone's well for a long time that anyone's given me was introducing me to bird watching.
And that was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, it's great. It's something I've enjoyed it since I was a kid. Going bird watching.
See, I thought everyone was a nerd.
No,
I thought.
Well, sort it is,
Yeah.
though, isn't it? You know what I mean? But it's like as you get older, you realise that's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine to be a nerd.
right.
It's all right. So I did it when I was a kid, and because I was a member of the Young Ornithologists Club when I was a kid.
Right, I remember those
Which
kind
was,
of people.
And I had like a badge that had like
Young
the
Ornithologists.
Kestrel sort of emblem.
Was it a Kestrel?
It was a Kestrel, yeah. And it was like I used to go to meetings at Bolton School to the local branch of the Young Ornithologists Club. We went on a trip with the YLC for short. We went on a trip to Benton Cliffs when I was like 9.
It's
or 10,
really good.
like
I recommend that.
And I went as an adult as well. I've been in the last couple of years. Yeah, and it's really cool. And like I think we stayed just outside Scarborough when we went.
Right.
And
we stayed in Beverley. It was really nice.
It was just a lovely weekend.
Yeah, absolutely the best time ever.
And
there's also loads of wild hares there, and like loads of other wildlife as well.
Yeah, and there's and also not just seabirds. So there's like a barn owl that is regularly.
Yeah. We hired. So if you've got no stuff, places like that we hired for the day for like a tenner some amazing binoculars that were really good. And then when I bought mine off Teemu, because they were like 200 quid these, I was like, let's get those ones. So I got the Teemu ones that were not very good.
No.
So I got another one from Teemu, again not very good, and then I got some second-hand ones not very good. So I'm 50 quid in now, and
I could have just
paid 200 and
world
got the
like
proper
false economy of trying to save
exactly.
money. Yeah. It's like I've got some decent ones, but like the sort of mid-range ones because they're sort of like if you get cheap binoculars, they're actually not good
pointless.
At all.
They're impossible
a waste
to use.
of time. If you have to spend 150 quid-ish to get, or maybe 100 quid to get you some all right ones actually, and then it starts to go up quite steeply the price of them.
Yeah, they're like a grand, aren't they? The top ones are like,
and it's like it'll leap up to like 500 quid, and then it'll be like a grand, and it's like I can't imagine that £1,000 one are sort of 10 times better than the ones that I paid.
No, I can't.
So, but I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe
you've got names as well, like the RSPB ones. So you've got like Puffin. They're like the bottom ones.
They're the entry level ones.
And then it goes Kestrel, and then it maybe goes to like Golden Eagle, Albatross.
I think mine are Avocet, which I think are the sort of second
right
ones up. I think. Yeah. Well, anyway, Avocet is actually the emblem of the RSPB.
That's what their little bird is. I've got the sticker
with the upturned bill. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you can see those in sort of like at Leighton Moss and at Southport.
Yeah.
A really good place to go bird watching is just as you drive into Southport on Marine Drive, which is the road that goes next to the beach. It's dead straight and flat. There's a car park on the right hand side there, which says RSPB. And you can park there for free with you if you remember.
Well, that's good.
And then there's hides that are just next to the road, and there's like marshland there on the left hand side. And you can see avocets and black-tailed godwits and spoonbills and all sorts of really rare birds.
Because the sea's miles away in Southport.
Yeah.
And I've got more chance of getting my wife to Southport again.
Yeah.
I say she like came with me. She'll come with me. But there has to be something else better in it for her. As in a nice meal somewhere and shops.
Yeah.
She's not that keen, and after about half an hour she's kind of like, oh, that was very nice, come on.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything yet.
Yeah. Well, the thing is though, it is one of those activities where sometimes nothing really happens.
Yes.
It's just, but it's about, when they talk about mindfulness and all that, you're just sort of in the moment, and you've got to just go with it. It's really good.
Well, it's just nice to be outside and still and just listen to, not have your phone on, just listen to what sounds like nothing, and after a bit you're like, oh, I can hear loads of loads of noise, and then
well,
often
there's actually
running
more
waters
happening
there.
here. Like, to look round, if you look around the margins of things, you'll sort of see.
You see lots of little creatures and lots of little.
Yeah.
So tell us about the RSPB.
So the RSPB though, so Avocet is a thing. It's interesting because they were founded in Didsbury in Manchester.
Right.
And there's a plaque on the wall at. Is it called Didsbury Park?
I think it's Didsbury
Or is it
Park, and
Fletcher
Fletcher
Moss?
Moss is the place right next to it. So if you go to Didsbury Park, what used to be the cafe, but now they've got a snazzy new one outside, but it's on the wall of the cafe that says the plaque, and then you can sit there and you can have an ice cream and you can look down into Fletcher Moss Park, which is where we saw
loads of parakeets.
Parakeets,
yeah. So it was started there in 1889 by Emily Williamson.
Right.
Okay, who was, and two other women whose names I forget. Sorry.
Well,
it was basically an amalgamation of two different organisations. One was the Plumage League was Emily Williamson's one, and the other one was called the Fins, Furs and Feathers Division, or something like that. And they were all broadly on the same page, which was to sort of protect animals from effectively being slaughtered for fashion purposes.
Yes.
So the plumage was like, there was a fashion of putting feathers in the sort of hats and fascinators and basically headwear, ladies' headwear, and also military headwear as well.
Oh right.
Because in some of the thingy. So there were
bearskins. So all the household cavalry all have bearskins, don't they?
And so there was a piece of legislation that was passed years later to prevent the use of osprey feathers in military sort of headwear.
Wow. Yeah, because they have a pluming as well. Different household cavalry.
So I don't know the numbers, but lots and lots of birds were being killed just for their plumage to put into feathers. So these women sort of protested against that and set up an organisation to sort of effectively sort of not just protest but to sort of lobby Parliament and all those things to sort of pass legislation to protect these birds, because it wasn't just birds that were living in this country that were under threat, it was also birds of paradise, so that it was having a global effect. The sort of
because it would be all the snazzy,
all the fancy ones.
Although even I read something about magpies. So birds have got a different field of vision to us, they've got different everything. But to another bird, a magpie looks like a parrot. Because if you look, it's got quite like a bit of blue and green in the tail, and they're not just black and white, they're quite beautiful. When you look really close up, well, to other birds, they just look like green and like blue and whatever.
That's interesting.
Because they see things differently than we do.
Right, okay. So, like, if you were trying to impress birds, then any old feather will do, because they'll be
yes, exactly. But so it's unlikely that unless you're like Newcastle based, that magpie feathers would ever really be used in a hat. So it's always like the snazzy peacock feathers.
So they wanted to sort of protect those birds, and so they created the Society for the Protection of Birds, which you'll notice doesn't have a royal attached to it.
Yeah.
But they received a royal charter in 1904. So since then, it's been the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds.
So it's about 101 years ago they got that royal.
Well, no, 121 years ago, 1904. It's 2026. I think.
Oh God, I thought it was in 1924.
Yeah,
I was thinking of those flapper girls, and like Agatha Christie, where you see like those girls will have like the short bobs and they'll have ostrich feathers in, and and women will have hats with like pins with like snazzy feathers and things.
So you can
all that's still going on.
You can sort of see where the fashion was. And that seabirds got regularly sort of slaughtered for it. So I think that they were largely protecting. They released a pamphlet which was basically raising awareness of the fact that birds were being killed, and it was about ospreys and egrets in essence, which includes sort of herons and stuff like that. And they were the birds that they were initially trying to protect, and as well as these more exotic species overseas. And then it just progressed from there. And then they've become today basically a huge organisation that has owns a lot of land and conservation land. So they opened a sort of sanctuary or an area in Minsmere, or they sort of acquired Minsmere in order to protect the avocet, which at that point was nearly extinct in Britain.
Right.
And that was their first ever sort of RSPB reserve, and now there's loads of them everywhere.
Yeah.
And the avocet is recovered as well. So lots of these birds that were nearly extinct, like ospreys and avocets and all that, are much more common now than they used to be. So it sort of shows that this sort of thing works.
Well, Winter Watch is currently on as we're recording this, and Spring Watch is a bit, I prefer Spring Watch because I don't like winter as much.
Right.
And I'm just looking at telly at like freezing cold landscapes and it grey and raining makes me miserable. but they always on about Ospreys. Starting to do well again.
Yeah. Well, you can see Ospreys now. So when I first started watching bird watching, I was sort of 7 or 8, something like that. So that's what now nearly 40 years ago. God, that made me feel old. But and it was and Ospreys were super rare. You'd see them maybe in the Highlands. You know what I mean? And that was it. Whereas now you can see them like
Tesco,
at Preston, you know, like
Preston,
Brockholes.
Can you?
You can see them at
Oh,
Brockholes.
can you?
Yeah. And like they sort of like they will go back to their sort of like, so they live in Senegal and West Africa in the summer, in the winter, and then they come over here for the summer, and they would only go to like the Highlands, and then they've just been moving that range further south over the decades, so that they now will return. There's some like in Wales and Rutland area, and then there's some like in the lakes, and then they're starting to move sort of further south, which is why you're starting to see them in places like Leighton Moss, which is near sort of Lancaster, and at Brockholes in Preston, and
I thought they'd only be coastal because
they nest in they come over here to breed, and they nest near sort of still water, near lakes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, because I thought they only ate seabirds. I thought they were.
No, they eat fish.
So they'll eat from a lake. I thought it was on the salt water.
No, it's really
interesting.
Like there's loads of them in Scotland. If you go like sort of Lomond way, there's lots of them.
Right, I'd like to see an osprey in the wild. I've not seen one.
Yeah, they're super cool. So there's loads of good news stories like that. So I'm going to say the RSPB, because that idea of it was like, and the fact that there's the women who got together to do it, because there was at the time an existing British Ornithologists Society or something like that who weren't bothered.
Who were only men.
Who were men. And I think they were probably largely shooting birds as well, because bird watching only became a thing that people did from about the 19th century. Prior to that, they couldn't couldn't think of any way that you could possibly observe a bird that didn't involve killing it.
And stuffing it,
and looking at it in a cabinet somewhere.
Well, there's loads of those still at the British Museum. There's all the everything, all butterflies and moths. And loads of just every British creature that ever existed, some of which now don't, wouldn't lie. So you can look at them, and I think there's nothing sadder really. I think it's sadder if you see birds in cages. I think that's awful. That's really awful. Sometimes when you're abroad, I was in Morocco recently, and there's just cages full of birds, and then you kind of like think, I'll buy them and release them, and then
like he was being like Elliot in E.T. when he lets all the frogs go. You know what I mean? The witch in the Wizard of Oz, they're fly.
Fly my pretties. But I didn't. I just didn't, because
that's like my type of activism. I could do that. I'm such a good person.
Well, also I didn't have any local currency either.
Right, okay.
I don't know what
to buy them. All right, you didn't fancy getting arrested for just releasing.
Well, yeah, and also then there's that other thing about culturally, what right have you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
Who knows if you're really poor and you're starving and you catch a bird and sell it, then it shouldn't be me going back to a cruise ship going, I say this is quite wrong.
I was going to say this. It's not like there's a long history of British people turning up places going, you're doing all this wrong.
Yes, like me. So absolutely seconded. RSPB has to go in.
Goes in. Excellent.
Yes. So thanks for watching. That's the end of that episode.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Black pudding and RSPB.
Yes.
Perfect day out.
Well, I've just realised something. That should I mention it or not?
What?
That it's essentially redundant having a book and putting it in, with the exception of Mountain Mulberry Pies where I bought bad ones. Because if we are the ones saying, I think this should go in, then we decide.
Yeah. But we've proven that we are at least honest, because we didn't put the Mountain Mulberry pork pie
with the Queen in Alice in Wonderland. We're essentially judge, jury, executioner.
All right. Well, when we've done a few of them, what we can do maybe at the end of if we're having this as different seasons of Brit of Alright, we can allow the listeners or viewers to have
get involved.
Give us some suggestions. Vote for a league table of which is the best, or something. You know, we can do that.
put in comments what you think we should do. We will use your comments. We'll do the vaguest of research.
Yeah.
Essentially, I will Google whatever you suggest for upwards of 3 minutes.
Yeah. Possibly just live on air. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
And then we can argue a bit more passionately, yes or no,
Yeah.
if it should go in.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching stroke listening, if we've actually put it out as a podcast, because we don't know
we
yet.
don't know yet. Yeah. But yeah, thanks.
Bye.
And see you next time. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to walk off as well.